Welcome to Yeshiva Daf Shir sponsor Luinish Pasar B'Yakashom Lev Basitzchok. We're holding our Zara Daf Chol Beis. We're starting a few lines down in Amud Aleph. It's 8 lines to the top. It says the more the following. Hanau Morikoi. What's a Morikoi? Rashi explains the Morikoi is gardeners. They
Mexicans.
They plant gardens. So what they did was they divided. They had a partnership between a Jew and a Goy. And what do? They said the Goy is going to plant, is going to harvest on Shabbos. And the Jew is going to do it Sunday. Right? Why? The Pashas is, the Goy doesn't want to work on a Sunday, and the Jew doesn't work on Shabbos. So they had a good partnership. Also come in the Rova. They give it for the Rova. Shorlu. So Rova said that's fine. You see they're reading the Rova, so Ravina asked Rova. They have a partnership. Don't come and say that, you know what, you'll take the Shabbos part, I'll take the weekday part. Because that can to be you really dividing your benefit for Shabbos. Why is he not taking the weekday? Because he's taking Shabbos in lieu of the weekday. If they originally, that's what they conditioned, that's what we'll see in a moment why. What does it mean, Bo'el Cheshbon? It means that we're not talking about if it's new mitchila. If they did stam and then they cheshbon and say, no, you'll take the Shabbos, but I'll take the Sunday part, it's similar to the first one.
Is that similar to...
One second, let's just finish over here. Ichsif, so Rava got embarrassed because he said something that seemed to be wrong. Then they found out that that's the condition to begin with. Now, what does it mean? So here, this is the concept, this is the aside of how you do a partnership between a Jew and a Goy. You have to write really a shtar. A Jew and a Goy, if originally, that's what the Gemara is telling and teaching us, if they originally divided the business, that when they purchased it or when they received it, he said, I'm getting the Shabbos proceeds, you're getting the weekday. So the Yisrael never took the Shabbos one, and the Goy never took the weekday. It never started that way, so that's okay. But if they had a partnership, then they say, you know what? We have a problem. You can't work on Shabbos. I don't want to work on a Sunday. So, we'll split it. You take Shabbos, I take Sunday. That you can't do. Because the reason why you take his Sunday is because he's taking Shabbos. When you have a partnership that already began, each one has 50% of the business. Now you're saying, you'll take the Shabbos proceeds, I'll take the Sunday proceeds. So basically, in lieu of Shabbos, you're taking Sunday. You deserve Shabbos, you're not taking it. But if I didn't start I started the business saying I'm not taking Shabbos, so then we say that means that he didn't even begin. He never became a owner for Shabbos. So that's when you have a partnership, when you have a dealing of a business that works at Shabbos, this is the basis, right? A shtar between a Goy and a Jew to begin with, that the Jew does not own the Shabbos thing.
If it wasn't written to begin with,
you have a problem. He has to maybe sell it. There's ways to get out of it. You have to sell the Shabbos. But not just to do a partnership divide. To sell in the Shabbos, he's going to purchase that day from you. You have to do it that way.
So a Jew can't own a franchise then?
Unless he does with the Goy.
Yeah, but there was a Dunkin' Donuts on 41st Street in Miami Beach. It was owned by a Jew. It was open Shabbos. He had no Goyish partner, but he made a start to not take Saturday profits, but it was still his business.
Right, it's a problem. Unless you add, there are ways to do it. But the question is, how do you do it? Same word, I know Shtil Dor. It was not Shabbos issue. Not talking about Shabbos. Talk about Orla. What's Orla? When a tree grows the first 3 years, you're not allowed to eat. The Jews not allowed to eat from the fruits. So what they did was, they did a deal. So the first 3 years, the Goy is going to eat the fruits. And then they throw away the fruits. So, also come in the road, here in front of the road. So that was mutter. Why is that mutter? Because you're allowed to make business, you're allowed to make profit on oil. Or, in other words, you're not allowed to eat the oil. If I'm dividing the partnership in Shabbos, I'm not allowed to benefit from Shabbos. But by oil, I'm allowed to benefit from oil. That's fine. I could benefit from the oil. So, that's why it's okay. Look at Rashi. Sharlu towards the end of the narrow lines. They took it together, not to divide it. They saw now Yisrael also allowed to work in the field the first 3 years. So, I mean, I said it a little differently. Once they split, they say, you're going to work the first 3 years, I'll work the next 3 years. Whoever works gets the produce. So that's fine. Says the Gemara about Oisir Ravina L'Rovo, right? He says, Ravina asked the question of Rovo. And according to you, it's not a question. The question is only by Shabbos, not by Yorlo. Says the Gemara, Siyu Siyai. No, he came to give him a raya. The same way by Shabbos, if originally you did it, it's okay. So by Orla, I don't have a problem with the partnership, you can do it even afterwards. V'ayichsif, it says the Ravah was embarrassed. Says the Gemara, Lo Yudvarim Loyal. This we find many times in Shas. Girsai says that this Girsai is wrong. It never happened. Ravah was never embarrassed. He didn't speak about Shabbos, he spoke about her. Says the Gemara, the Kivei here, Kedarka brings over here all the places this is mentioned in Shas. Ibarlu, Stomamai. What happened, Stom, which means when they did Shabbos and they didn't say anything originally. They didn't say we're taking it together, but they also didn't say he's taking Shabbos, he's taking Sunday. Toshvai mitnu mitchila mutter. It says the Kaddish originally mutter. Hastom not so much. They didn't do Kaddish as also. Eva Sefer Bol Cheshbon also. Hastom mutter. Only if they came to Cheshbon and they said you'll take this, I'll take this, but if they didn't say anything, it's mutter. There's no raya from here. And Lamaise, I think we go to Chumra. They have to do a Kaddish before. That's right. Okay. Now we finished the first parak of Maseches of Zara. We're starting right away the second parak of Maseches of Zara. You're not allowed to put an animal in the hotels of going. The chashut to have a relationship with an animal. A woman should not be alone with him. Maybe with a woman. What about a regular person? Because they may kill him. Here, we'll see later in the Gemara, they didn't say because chashudim mishkav zacher, not because of male relationship. That was not the issue, but shul's done. Says the Gemara that for Beisam and Beisam top. Very many. Says the Gemara, we asked a question. You're allowed to take an animal from a goy to use that as a korban. Hi, what's the problem? You're not allowed to have an animal of a goy, an animal which was nearby, which they had a relationship with a human being, is also a mizbech. And we say over there, not that the animal is a reveya person, or that the animal was nearby for a person. Muktzeh nevad is for Avoda Zara. Muktzeh means it was designated for Avoda Zara, and nevad means that it was worship of Avoda Zara. Taisa says over here that muktzeh, whenever we mention it by us, doesn't mean just they say, "Oh, I'm going to give it to Avoda Zara." He means he actually gave it to the priest, and they took it and they designated. They made more than just say the words, "I'm giving it to Avoda Zara." Bishop muktzeh v'nevod im iso de aksev im iso de palchei. Why? But with that chav base and base in the top. But with the Zara, if the Bishop of Avoda Zara, I'll tell you why. When a guy sells you an animal, I can bring it as a korban because it's probably not Avoda Zara. Why? Because in Isa the Parche or Isa the Axe, if you did designate it Avoda Zara or worship Avoda Zara, they have a mazmuli. We're not to sell it. It's too quote unquote holy for him. It's too special. He won't give it to. He won't sell it. What about a Reveah V'nirba? Why not choishish? We just said that a goy is choshed on these things. Says the Gemara, "Marav tachlivo, marav shilo ba'avinu ishviderav, oyevet kachovim chas al behemtoi shalot yoker." A guy doesn't want to do bila with his animal because that will make it necker, will make it not be able to have children. Teresa says over here, the Gemara knew already this. The Gemara thought when you sell it may be different. The Gemara says maybe here it's not. Hateinech nekevus. Okay, that's if it's a female. So the guy doesn't want to do a reveal with a female because it make it not be able to have children. But tzchoy Michael a male. What about a male? Why? Maybe we'll have a reveal with a male. It ruins the meat. It makes it, in other words, when he does be'il to the animal, it does take away its value. What about you could take from a shepherd? Maybe did a reveal. He doesn't want to do it because then he's going to lose the value of the animal and he's not going to get as much money.
No, it's his job. He's talking about a riot.
Yeah, right, he's a shepherd and needs to make good money of it. So he's going to lose for it. So why can't you give an animal to their shepherd? Why are you not choishish? Why don't say the shepherd will never do that because he's going to lose his parnasa? So I'll tell you why. They know each other, so they're scared. Which means we're not, as the one's give me an example, we're not part of their association, we're not part of the chevra. So they think they're gonna do a review and they're not gonna figure it out. But the goyim, they know each other. They say, whoa, what did you do? So for a goy for a goy, a shepherd a goy, for an animal of a goy, he won't do any foolish thing because he knows the goy is gonna catch him. But for a yid, he will do. Says the more interesting expression. On the Ravo, that's what people say. Michtavo galola bozo. Ragla bechavrei yoda. What does that mean? So as Rashi explains over here, Michtavo galola bozo means michtav shekrin grafia b'shupar zelu. Meaning it's like a pen which is made out of metal. His koreya v'roishim is sagalol shaish. He makes inscriptions on marble. Kloima shaishu koshe, marble which is hard. Yormina michtav yishu makir boy. They know each other. They're both hard. Meaning they're saying, so the marble is a little scared of the pen. That's the concept. So michtava gulala bozu. The gulala, which is the shaish, which is the marble, is afraid of the michtava. Ragla b'chavrei yoda, Rashi says the ragla means rochi. Rochi means a person who speaks, goes around. He's afraid of other people. They're rechilus, because they know each other. He knows how to talk. I know how to talk. They're gonna figure the guys that are in the same business. The guys are in the same type of people. They know each other and they know how to suspect each other, and they're afraid. That's what he says. So he says a little differently. There, we're talking the girsa he has is not raglo. He calls it dagalo. Lashon sheker. Meaning the liars, the cheaters know each other. So, in other words, what is it more answering? A guy will figure out if a guy does something wrong. A Jew, not necessarily. Says the more Yachi Schorim in the cave is doing this one. Okay. So we explained why you're not buying, why you could buy from a guy, because you're not choishish that he did be'ilo with the animal. He ruins the animal. Even a shepherd, the same thing. But what about a woman? How can you buy an animal from a woman? Maybe the animal would have be'ilo with the woman. The woman will bring the animal on herself. She's afraid to do that. Why? Because Rashi has a different gears on the Mizrach. Meaning, if she starts having a relationship with this animal, the animal starts to run after her. So she's afraid she doesn't want to do that, and wherever she's going to go, people are going to realize this animal was with her. And the Tanya where Risa said, she should not raise a dog. She should not host a tabachacham in her house. If she's going to have a relationship with Barbi Rav, he won't say a word, she won't say a word, nobody's going to know about it. She may come to be mizana with her. But according to you, when you have a relationship with the animal runs after the woman, she's going to be scared to do that. So why can't she raise a dog? Says a dog is different. When you throw meat to the dog comes after you. And if you start feeding the dog regularly, the dog always comes after you. We will say, the fact that the dog is running after her, he's running after because of the meat. So By a dog, it's less of chashash. Other animals, we do have a problem because other animals, it's not so easy to make them run after a woman unless they have a relationship. So it's very clear when you see suddenly a horse running after a woman, it's because they have a relationship. But a dog, it's, for me, very easy to trigger his interest in the woman. Says the Gemara in the Kavus and the Kavus. So we want till us says, as I could buy from a goy, I can buy even a male, it's not a problem. Now, but I can't give an animal to a goy, not buy from him, because then it will be revealed. That's what our Mishnah says. It says the Gemara and the Kavus my time. And why can't I put a female animal by a female woman? Because the goyim come to the woman, to the woman of the other woman. So can't find her. He's going to have a relationship with the real. So again, the goy won't have a relationship with his animal because he's going to ruin it. But other goy may have a relationship with the animal. Because they're going to come to look for the woman won't be all, will do with the animal. Even he does see the woman. I'm going to correct one thing. In other words, if I put an animal by a woman, the pshash is that some boyfriend of her will come and be revered the animal. Why? Because maybe the woman won't be there. Even if the woman is there, the son doesn't want to have a relationship with the animal more than the woman. Why? They like and they have an interest in the animal of Israel more than their own wives. Why? There is some zoyamo by a goy. Where does the zoyamo come from? From the Nachash. When the Nachash had be'ilo with Chavo, the wife of Odom Rishon, and he put into her some kind of thing called zoyamo, which really makes her basically like there's a disgusting element in them. But that's why they don't like their wife so much. But Yisrael doesn't have it. So well, why not? Yechezkel nami. If it's coming from Chavo, so Yisrael also have it. So Yisrael shown the Sinai Posko Zoyamasa. When Am Yisrael stood in Har Sinai, they were cleaned up. As we saw earlier in the Masechta, that the Gemara brings a discussion when they went to Har Sinai, did they stop dying? Whereas maybe they didn't stop dying, but all their blemishes and all their sicknesses all were cleaned up. Zohar was also cleaned up. But the Goyim that were not in Har Sinai, they're not, the Zohar did not stop. That's why they are not so interested with their wives as they were interested with others, with the animals of Israel, or the Yeshiva, because of the Zohar they have over there. There's a discussion, which maybe we'll discuss more in Shom Achshava, did the Zohar come back once they did the Chet? So in our Gemara is Mashanat. Yisrael till today don't have Zohar. The Shaila is, the place of Chazal that says that what causes Miso, death, is the Zohar. But I don't have Zohar, so I have death. So that's something to think about and check out. Says the Gemara, okay, that's animals. What about a bird? What about chickens? I saw a goy. He took a geese. Rova, he did with a revia. Chanka, choked it. Sla, roasted it. So he did with it everything. So you see that they do have a relationship with birds and chicken as well. From Avir Medifti I saw an Arab Shalokach Yerek min Hashuk, which means he took a piece of meat. He made a hole in it for revia. Rava, Solo, Verochlo, and then he did a revia, Solo, Verochlo. So you see that not forget about a live animal or a live bird. Any piece of meat, they have they made the review over there. So therefore, Yechesh always for the goyim for a review, side by an animal, side by a bird, side by a schorim, side by the kavis. Always have a problem if you put in an animal of a Yisrael by a goy, you may do it. If you put an animal of a goy by a goy, you don't. Why not? Because they think it's going to ruin the animal. So that's why they don't do it, and that's why they avoid it. But I only saw Yechezkel. That's the first part of the Mishnah that you can't put animals in the pundokim of the goy. So we'll stop over here and maybe the show continue here tomorrow.